Hello, I'm Ed Fire, and if like me you've been enjoying Doom Eternal, but haven't wanted to stop to do all the reading, then this is probably the video for you. So, what we're going to do is read through the Codex pages. Specifically, we're going to look at the demons. So start to finish of all the demons, and what I'll do is I'll give you a little insight into my feelings about each of them, and also any hints and tips that I've got on top of what's in here already. So first things first, zombies, they come in a few different looks, but that's about all. They kind of wander around and don't do very much. So the zombies, possessed by the influence of hell, these once human underlings that follow in hell's ranks, are those that have been corrupted and deceived by its power, forsaking their own humanity. Those who have fully succumbed to hell's control cannot be saved, becoming mindless, grotesque contortions of their former selves. Fine. Next, we have imps. We're very accustomed to imps in the first one. Let's have a little look. So their weakness is bullets. So imps, scavengers of the underworld. Imps are among the most common of beasts found in the scorched surface of the hellscape. Lesser demons of hell, the imp possesses limited intelligence, driven only by a hunter's impulse to seek out prey, a task for which the imp is naturally suited due to its innate capacity for violence. As a result of these attributes, the imp makes for an ideal foot soldier and is oft deployed, that's an old word, oft deployed in the warring legions of hell, easily manipulated and controlled by commanding high-born demons at the behest of the sovereign chapters. It is common for the imp to appear at the front line of an offensive attack, an expendable resource unleashed in great numbers to overcome and break through the enemy front. And there are a few of those in Doom Eternal. Next, soldiers. Right, their weakness. The weakness is a point-blank blast from a shotgun shell will stagger a blaster soldier. They're also weak. Plasma rifle for overloading energy shield. So when they're holding a blue shield, use the plasma rifle to make it explode. And also blood punch. Blood punch can instantly destroy the energy shield. Although you probably don't want to get that close, depending on the difficulty. Soldiers. Once frontline infantry fighting to protect Earth from the demon invasion, the Hell Soldiers have been claimed by darkness, turning them against their fellow soldiers in the midst of battle. These guys can be annoying. They are still under the fodder category, as you can see, but they can be annoying, especially when they got the shield. That's very frustrating playing against them. Not as frustrating as Doom 2016, but a little bit more so here. Right. The Gargoyle. These guys are so annoying. General tip, blast it out of mid-air to instantly trigger a stagger. That's good to know. Like their imp brethren, the Gargoyle is an agile, relentless pack hunter. Native to the Sentinel world, this beast has plagued the Sentinel Guard for centuries. As one of the few demon breeds that could bypass the wall defenses of Sentinel Prime, the Gargoyle could appear without warning and claim hapless townspeople before disappearing into the wasteland. Only the most skilled marksmen of the Night Sentinels could intercept this aerial threat, a peril which demanded an ever-vigilant watch over the city's perimeter. Yes, they are very annoying to play against. Next, Lost Soul. In fairness, you don't see many of the Lost Souls in this version of the game until later levels when you see the Pain Elementals. Is that what they're called? Yeah. But I wouldn't put them down as fodder. Never mind. Weakness is shells. Shoot it with a shotgun to send it flying, causing a delayed explosion, or use the ice bomb, which will instantly kill. The ice bomb, I don't know, these guys fly around quite fast, and you are generally moving around quite fast as well, so maybe throwing an ice bomb at them is not the easiest thing to do in combat, but they did create the game in fairness, so we'll go with it. The Lost Soul. The Lost Soul has its origin among the damned, former humans who have fallen from the mortal world, doomed to an unliving eternity as sin-branded slaves of hell. Oh. The damned are seemingly endless in number, their populations growing by the thousands with each rise of the black sun. For many, the torturous existence of crushing slave labour is all that awaits. The bodies of the damned are brittle, and those who become broken in labour, their bodies ruined, dismembered, or otherwise capable of servitude, are transported to the pits where their souls must be extracted for further use. Those fortunate enough to escape this process are what inevitably become lost souls. Their spirits transmogrified into physical form. The lost soul knows only madness, its memory a haunted image of its former mortal life. These creatures live a fleeting existence, roaming mindlessly, seeking out that which can grant them a final death. Oh, that sounds horrible. I mean, it all sounds pretty horrible, but that sounds even more horrible than the others so far. Next, Maker drones. General tip, their thick hide mitigates damage, so you got to get them with a headshot. Headshot kills drop a lot of resources, and they really do. And when you're playing against the Khan Maker, which is not a spoiler because you are going to be fighting, she's quite sinister, you're going to work it out at some point. You have to headshot a lot of these in order to top up on health and armor and ammo and the like. Anyway, Erdak's population is mainly comprised of drones, beings that exist as extensions of the Khan Maker's will. Though each is endowed with their own unique identity, they remain biologically unable to resist a command from their Khan, and so function in a perfectly synchronized colony system. Drones never leave Erdak, their bodies not yet mature enough to avoid harm while crossing dimensions. Although they're sort of meaty and sturdy enough to avoid harm from your shotgun to a point. Anyway, now we're on to the heavy demons. Just to summarize, there's fodder, heavy, super heavy, and ambient. Okay, heavy demons. These are amazing. And arachnotrons. Their weak point is the turret, and you need, when you're fighting against these demons, you have to get rid of the turret as quickly as possible. Sticky bombs, good way of doing that. Or using the heavy cannon's scope. Again, very good way of doing that. And combine that with the rune that allows you to slow down time when you are jumping or sort of flying, if you like. That will make life a lot easier for immobilizing these guys. Arachnotrons are built with genetic material recovered from the remains of the original Spider mastermind, bioengineered from cyber augmentation. While its actual body exhibits only limited mobility, the oddly cerebral qualities of the Arachnotron make it a prime candidate for the impulse-controlled prosthetic frame that it now permanently inhabits. The UAC facility responsible for the Arachnotron's creation, intending to engineer and weaponize demons of their own design, was overrun after an outbreak occurred inside of its assembly plant, killing everyone inside. Duh! What are you thinking? The facility is still operating under the directive of the administrative AI, continues to manufacture arachnotrons autonomously. Sinister. Sinister. Review the image? Cool. These guys, these demons are annoying. You have to not immobilize, you have to get rid of the weak point ASAP, which is their gun turret. Otherwise, you will find yourself dying quite quickly. Kagedemon! The weakness is that if you fire a sticky bomb or frag grenade into its mouth to trigger a stagger, we'll swallow it, blow up, and then you can glory kill it. Weakness, Ballista. The Ballista does bonus damage to flying demons. That's good to know. Here he is. Chuck an explosive in his gob. Hunters of the Slowlands, the Kagedemon lurks the bottomless and murky depths of hell in search of easy prey. An aimless wanderer, the Kagedemon is mostly devoid of cognitive ability, sensory awareness, and otherwise commonly occurring impulses. Driven only by a singular desire to feed, the Kagedemon is likely to appear wherever there is flesh to be consumed, bringing with it an insatiable propensity for hunger. It is said that the Kagedemon bears some resemblance to the cycloptic titans of ancient hell lore, leading Sentinel scholars to believe that the forgotten titans may yet live on in some disembodied form. Oh, there's some really interesting words in this. Hopefully you're keeping up. Oh, what the? Hopefully you're keeping up. If you're not, then soz. Carcass. Oh, these guys are annoying. So Carcass, what they do is they shoot out plasma shields and do other things. So their weakness is the plasma rifle, of course. Shoot it at the shield and it will blow up. That's really good because they project the shield quite far away from themselves sometimes. That's quite a good way of causing an explosion that will either falter or kill other demons. Blood Punch as well, which can instantly destroy the shield. The product of inhuman biomechanical engineering, the Carcass was created in the remote labs of the cultist Enclave. Neither truly living nor dead, it exists in a state of partial reanimation, its cybernetic armature simulating a living impulse with a decaying organic host. Devised as a means of extending a soldier's usefulness in combat after death, the unliving host can only be destroyed by severing the body from its cybernetic implants. Oh, thank you very much. We have a green juice here. Delightful. Right. That's the Carcass. Cyber Mancubus. It feels like we should do the Mancubus first, but we'll go for the Cyber Mancubus. Because that's the order that they're in here. Weakness, Blood Punch. The Mancubus and the Cyber Mancubus are ones that you need to incapacitate ASAP as well. However, with the Mancubus, you can shoot its guns, its arm gun things, and they will fall off. And that's the same as with the Arachnotron. You need to not immobilize, you need to reduce their power by getting their weak points. The issue with the Cyber Mancubus is that you cannot remove the arm cannons. So here we go. Let's read through this. What you need to do is get super close and use the Blood Punch, and it will knock off the armor and make it easier for you to kill them. General tip, the arm cannons have been reinforced and cannot be destroyed by damage, and a chest glory kill with demons... will trigger an explosion that damages nearby demons. Good to know. Let's read this. Mechanized and heavily augmented, the Cyber Mancubus is equipped for frontline warfare. Equipped with dual-barrel, arm-mounted mortar cannons, the Mancubus's integrated weapons system utilizes the body's naturally occurring biotoxins, refining this corrosive, viscous, membrane into a toxoplasmid ammunition feed. Siphoned from the spinal gland and funneled intravenously to the weapon conversion system, the corrosive secretion is discharged by an alternating firing mechanism which dispenses the toxoplasmid as either heated projectile or ignited fluid, the latter resulting in a flamethrower-like incendiary spray capable of burning through armoured plating. Nice. Don't want to meet him down a dark alley. Or her. Next. The Dread Knight. This is useful. This is the first time I've read through this, because again, I played the game and didn't want to read through it. The Dread Knight. The chain gun can quickly falter this demon. Useful. That's good to know. A variation of Hell Knight breed, the Dread Knight has been modified and hardwired for aggression. Obviously. Armed with an exoprosthesis powering energy blade augments. The Dread Knight, I feel like I read that wrong. The Dread Knight is the lethal result of UAC cultist engineering. Epinephrine regulators modulate the Dread Knight with an unbroken flow of rage-addled adrenaline. With its endorphin receptors while its endorphin receptors have been synchronized to respond with the use of its arm-mounted blades. With each kill, the Dread Knight is injected with a flood of artificial dopamine. As a result of its augmentation, the Dread Knight is driven by a biochemically engineered state of pure, unbroken rage. A suffering for which respite can only be found in the act of the kill. That would explain a lot. Chain gun, don't forget that. Next, the Hell Knight. The chain gun, again, can quickly falter this demon. Good to know. Now that I've completed the game. The Hell Knight, warrior beast among demons, has earned his place over the millennia in service of the eternal archdemons, or archdemons, depending on how you want to read it today. As imposed by the sovereign houses, Hell Knights have long served as barbaric enforcers of the netherworld, impaling lesser demons by way of brutality. Rare among demonkind for its innate regard for primal orders of hierarchy, the Hell Knight exhibits adherence to the prevailing rule of its demon lord masters. Requiring little compulsion on behalf of its high-born masters, Hell Knights readily serve the elder Hell gods for the extent of their lifespan, reaping great satisfaction in the way of war and desecration. But they're reasonably easy to get rid of. What I've found is if you shoot at a sticky grenade at their head and it sticks, it will flash blue rather than flashing amber. And if you do that, it will falter the demon. So it will make it stop and go, oh, what? And then it will carry on. Now it's the Mancubus. So the weak points are the arm cannons, and you genuinely want to get rid of those as quickly as possible. Same with the Arachnotrons. You have to get rid of these arm cannons as quickly as possible because they will obliterate you otherwise. So they'll still fire at you, but they'll be significantly weaker. Weak point arm cannons. I personally use the heavy cannon. Is it called the heavy cannon? Make sure I'm using this term correctly here whilst we can. Heavy cannon, yes. I use the heavy cannon's scope, and that's got the power of 6 shots with the normal one, and you'll be able to, at least on ultra violence, you'll be able to remove an arm cannon with 1 shot of the scope of the heavy cannon. So just try that, or you can use the sticky grenades. That's another way of doing it. And here's a little tip. A chest glory kill will trigger an explosion that damages nearby demons. Again, good to know. Let's have a look at the image. Yeah. Let me get my head out of the way of that cannon. Boom. Check those guns out. Oh, no, that gun. Sorry. Thanks, Mancubus. The Mancubus, hulking behemoth of the demon world, depending on what you want to say, bears notable difference from those of its kind first encountered by the UAC expedition team on Mars. Unlike its brethren, which wore a naturally occurring armoured carapace, if I've said that wrong, message me in the comments, this variation shows clear signs of pre-existing man-made modifications. Armor plating augmentation to its exterior and a sophisticated arm-mounted weapon system indicate a clear intent to upgrade and weaponize the fighting capacity of the Mancubus, whose heavy stature and resilience makes it a formidable threat in battle. It does. Again, as long as you remove those arm cannons, you're going to be laughing. These ones are annoying. Pain element. Weakness, ballista. Yes, use the ballista. I used the charge up shot. I'm not sure what that's called. Should we have a quick look? Ballista. The Arballista. I use that. Charge it up, shoot it, it hits them, it damages them, but also it explodes then as well. And I think it, again, on ultraviolence, it takes 2 or 3 hits. An abhorrent creation of the umbral planes. The pain elemental is descended from the primal abominable depths of the demon world. Knowing only its own torment, the elemental is cursed to forge lost souls. Exactly, this is where lost souls don't actually appear until you see a pain elemental, which is reasonably late. Within the fiery pit of its gut. A process that is excruciating and without end for the duration of the creature's miserable lifespan. Ouch. The elemental's only reprieve from its own agonizing and tortuous existence is the projection of suffering into the world. For this reason, the pain elemental reaps great satisfaction from indiscriminate killing and the infliction of misery upon those weaker than itself. Oof! Ow! Sounds like a horrible fellow. Next, Pinkies. These, interestingly, in my opinion, aren't anywhere near as annoying as in 2016. At least in this game, you can dash to the sides, whereas Doom 2016, you've got to time that second jump perfectly in order to get over these things. Weak point, shoot them in the back. It does massive damage. They're very armoured on the front. A blood punch will kill a Pinkie in 1 shot. What? Well, the benefit of reading. And maybe I should have stopped and read. You're benefiting from this now anyway. Get it in the rear passageway. Just one in the poo hole. Also known as the tail. Blood punch will one-shot a Pinkie. Who knew? As hell emerged on Earth, the Pinkie began to appear on terrestrial soil in great number, rapidly becoming the bane of existence to Ark military fortifications. Utilizing its armored frontal carapace, the Pinkie is able to penetrate defensive encampments, breaking through wall defenses and using its ramming ability to upturn and immobilize armored vehicles. Ark deployments, dependent on their ability to hold the line against encroaching forces of hell, could be disrupted and even overtaken by a single Pinkie were it able to penetrate and break through their defensive matrix, allowing a greater demon influx to pour in after it. The Ark rapidly prioritized the target status of the Pinkie, issuing high-range bombardment to prevent the Pinkie from gaining proximity. Well, that makes perfect sense. Do you have a look again? Ooh, menacing. Next, the Prowler. Oh, these are also really annoying. Weakness, Ice Bomb. Freeze it with the Ice Bomb to temporarily prevent teleportation. Fair enough. A creature of darkness, the Prowler hunts from the shadows, preferring stealth and concealment to open conflict. Imbued with parital infravision, the Prowler is able to see that which is unseen by the naked eye. Known among the Sentinels as the Night Stalker, the Prowler's preternatural sense of sight makes it a lethal hunter capable of tracking its prey even in the pitchiest black of dark. Believed to be peripherally descendant to the lesser imp brooding, the Prowler is rarely seen in groups, forsaking pack hunting for the precision of the solitary pursuit. I'm losing my brain here a little bit. Maybe some more green juice. Man, that's good. Next, the Revenant. Weak points. Destroy the shoulder launcher to disable rocket attacks. Again, anything with a weak point, you should try and attack as a primary battle plan. I would say you want to, if you get, and which you do in early battles, definitely for the first few levels, if you find yourself with Arachnotrons, some Mancubuses, and then Revenants, I would say you should tackle the Arachnotron first, then the Mancubuses, and then the Revenants. As long as you keep moving, the Revenants won't cause you much trouble, but the Arachnotrons really do get on top of you at times. And again, you don't want too many Mancubuses, but as long as you keep an idea of where they are at any one time, then you'll probably be able to keep out of their way. Revenants, again, shoot the two separate weak points on top, the rocket launchers. General tip, it's more vulnerable when it's in the air. General tip, dash and double jump will break the rocket lock-on. Dash and double jump. Cool, or just keep moving. Check out that gun. The Revenant program, a bioweapon experiment utilizing reanimated necrotic human tissue, was believed to have been destroyed with the collapse of the UAC facility on Mars. However, the emergence of the cultist enclaves on Earth, former UAC deviations now under Hell's direct control, have begun work on a second wave of production of the Revenant program. While much of the platform's existing weapon payload is preserved as originally designed, the cyberneural programming has undergone modification. Pattern signals are wired to the host's frontal cortex, which in turn simulate a state of frenzied, unrestrained bloodlust. While these signals are active, the host is incapable of thinking or feeling anything but a singular compulsion to inflict death and violence on the living. Nasty. Nasty. Next, Spectre. It's basically an invisible invisible Frinky. Wow. Invisible Pinkie. Weakness, Ice Bomb. Didn't know this. The Ice Bomb will break the cloaking behavior, allowing lock-on weapons to work. Right. Useful. Let me say that again. Use the Ice Bomb. It will break the cloaking behavior, which will allow lock-on weapons to work. I don't know if that means forever, past that point, you've frozen them, or if it just means when they're frozen, but yes, you can test and find out and let me know in the comments. Born from an ancient screen of forbidden psychomancy, it was by the Ptolemaic inscriptions of the occult six sealed eyes that the Spectre was made manifest. Divined in desecrated ruins, untouched by light for an eternity, warlocks of an abandoned sovereign house unearthed the verboten scripture, seeking rebellion by means of black magic against the rule of the infernal archdemons or archdemons. By way of sorcery were numerous abominations and ungodly forms brought forth into the hellscape. Among them, the Spectre, ethereal amalgam of the Pinkie. Cool. For their role, In these miscreations, the archdemons would enact as retribution against its insurgents an unspeakable punishment, a decree of suffering that would be without end. Good. My reading brain is getting tired now. Next, Whiplash. Oh, these are so annoying. Weakness is to freeze them. That's not much of a weakness. I found these very, very frustrating. Oh, did I find a weakness for them separate from the ice bombs? No, I don't think so. Sorry. Again, if you have weaknesses, found a weakness for them, pop it in the comments, please. A scavenger of the hellscape, the Whiplash creature was first discovered by UAC expedition teams in the Black Desert of the Sanctum Wastelands. These elusive, serpentine demons move with great speed and agility. They're capable of striking from a great distance with retractable bladed whips concealed within their forearms. This particular demon breed became an object of great interest to the UAC engineers on Earth, while attempts to capture live specimens of this nimble and unpredictable creature proved to be exceptionally dangerous. After successfully acquiring living specimens, researchers implanted cybernetic augmentations designed to enhance the Whiplash's innate strength and lethality. And this is what makes them so difficult. They, apart from what is described there about the whips, whoosh, they also go from being completely upright to slithering like a snake, like a serpentine creature, as you would imagine them to. So hitting them can be quite challenging. When they're upright, yeah, no problem. But when you get 2 or 3 of them moving around, they really do ruin your day. We're on the home stretch now, everybody. Super heavy. This is where it gets really nasty. The Archvile, or the Archville, but I think it's the Archvile. Weakness, a blood punch can instantly destroy its shield. Didn't know that. Now I know. Get nice and close and blood punch this bad boy. General tip, the Archvile is vulnerable while summoning. Falter them to instantly gib the incoming demons. Now that's good to know as well. Forged from Hellfire, the Archvile is feared among lesser demons for its innate ability to channel and manipulate the unholy powers of hell magic. Descended from the eldest race of demons, the Archvile has long held a place within the ruling castle of high-born demonkind. Possessing superior intellect among the demon ranks, the Archvile's psychomancy powers make it a natural-born ruler of the savage and primitive beasts of hell, capable of bending weak-minded underlings to serve its will. And we don't see those until reasonably late into the game, but when they do appear, they become a bit annoying. Baron of Hell. Oh, this is good to know again. Chain Gun can quickly falter this demon. The Fireborn Barons have evolved, descendant clan of the Baron Hellbreed, and are indigenous to the caustic, scorched hellscape bordering the burning abyss. A landscape of cragged spires forged from unbreakable blackstone, tempered by the crashing waves of magmatic tide, these sulphuric plains of hell have long served as banishing grounds, a place of exodus to which the damned are sentenced as their final destination. Sounds lovely. Buy me a ticket there. The Fireborn Barons have evolved in this environment, sustaining themselves on the remnants of the damned, growing obsidian carcasses, and in time becoming infused with the very incendiary matter of hell itself. Next, the Doom Hunter. Again, this is useful to know. These appear... where is it? Level 4? Mission 4? 5? Something like that? So first things first, you need to destroy its sled, which is what it's riding around on, in order to prevent the lock-on rocket attacks, and it will prevent its shield working as well. However, to get to that point, you need to bring its shield down, and you need to use cells, so weapons that use cells. Plasma rifle will be a good example. You shoot it, and as you are having an impact on the shield, it goes from blue to purple to orange to red, I think, and then it disappears. And I think it regenerates over time as well. Weakness, it says here as well. Blood Punch deals major damage to the sled. You want to then, therefore, get rid of the shield, get it from blue to purple to orange to red to gone, and then Blood Punch the sled that it's on. It's dangerous. You need to be doing this very quickly. And again, it's got lock on. It's got lock on rockets. So you want to do is do a dash and a double jump to lose the lock on. But generally, if you're moving around pretty quickly, you're going to be doing that sort of thing anyway, automatically. Let's see what it says. Once a race of beast-like hunters, the Doom Hunter creature was known to Sentinel warriors in ages past as lethal stalkers of the Metal Age. Extracted from the frozen depths of the polar tundra, the Doom Hunter belongs to an ancient race uncovered during cultist excavation in the remote Arctic. Preserved below the frozen ice for millions of years, the unearthed remains of this creature were deemed suitable for reconstruction, becoming the subject of cultist necro-regenerative bioexperimentation. Try saying that one 3 times fast. And I think, actually, I was trying to then. Next line. Within the remote cultist citadel, a high-tech ritual altar which towers over the Golgothan ruins, the Doom Hunter was ceremoniously and systematically resurrected and rebuilt. While the majority of its components are now cybernetic, there remains a high degree of mental faculty, a sentinel, brutal hunting instinct augmented with the armaments of a tank division. It really does. And the first time you meet one, you're like, hallelujah. But you do get used to them as the game goes. No spoilers here. Let's have a look at that image again. Oof. Next, these are the most annoying creatures of the whole game. And I have learned a few ways to handle them more easily. If you want me to make a separate video on that, then post a comment, let me know. General tip. The green flash indicates that they are vulnerable and cannot block, so you time your shots. Another tip, the Marauder cannot block while faltered, so strike fast before it recovers. And that's good to know. General tip, don't waste ammo trying to break through the shield when it's active. Yeah, just don't bother. Hey, what's this guy on the left? I don't recognize him. Never mind. Let's read what it says. These are very annoying. You will only see them a handful of times in the game, but I would probably say you see less than 10 of these, maybe 6 or 7. Someone could probably put me right on that, but you really don't see more than 10 at most. He is a nasty piece of work. As Civil War consumed Argent Dunur, the Night Sentinel's Guard was quartered by their faith. Quartered, yeah. Torn between serving the Khan Maker or revolting against that which they swore to protect. Those most disillusioned forswore their oath to the Sentinel royalty, abandoning their pact of allegiance made to the throne. These hardened warriors joined the separatist group led by the exalted priest class, allying themselves with the Makers and their devout acolytes in an attempted coup against the Sentinel royal house. These Sentinel warriors who fell in battle, having sided with the Makers, were ultimately denied finality in death. Resurrected by the divinity machine of Maker design, these fallen Sentinels were returned from the dead, transformed by Hell's power, and recreated with a singular purpose to hunt the Slayer, now reborn as knights in Hell's army. They are so annoying. There's a very small window in which you can actually attack them. It's when their eyes shine green. And again, I'll create a separate video to give you some tips if you'd like to know. Just let me know in the comments. Oh, Tyrant. Oh, I've been using the wrong name for these. Never mind. They are Tyrants. I thought they were something else. Doesn't matter. These, again, you see very late into the game. General tip. A well-timed double jump or dash is needed to evade the Seeker wave. Another tip. The Tyrant is slow to turn. Use this to your advantage. Let's read this. Demon lords to the black soul pits of Babel, or Babel, I guess. The Tyrants have long served as wardens and slayers of the infernal pits. Weaponized and cybernetically altered by the UAC, the Tyrants are tasked with overseeing the collection and extraction of sin-branded human souls from the mortal world. Their role in hell ordained by the unholy sigil of the elder hell gods. A sadistic master of lesser demons, the Tyrants are feared for their cruelty and malice. Oof, nasty. God, this is a long video. All right, if you're still here, thank you. Next, we're on to the final section, which are the ambient things. So we've got basic... well, I wouldn't describe a tentacle as ambient, but okay. I guess they are, yeah. Buff totems, possibly one of the least necessary things in the entire game. Really not necessary. You will probably see about 5 of these. Someone could probably correct me on that. 5 of these through the whole game. Usually you'll enter an area and it will say, buff totem nearby, and you have to seek out the buff totem and give it a melee punch. But there's also maybe 1 or 2 moments where you're in the middle of a battle and it's like, oh, hey, buff totem has just appeared, and you have to frantically find it, because what it does is it makes, as it suggests, it makes the demons harder, faster, more damaging, and you just ignore all the demons and hunt this thing down ASAP. Or where you can ignore them. In the first time you see them, you can't ignore the demons. You have to destroy a certain number of them for them to be able to teleport. Anyway. General tip, if demons are glowing red, a buff totem is active. Totem. General tip, if a buff totem is active, seek it out and destroy it immediately, as I just said. And another tip, a buff totem will continue to spawn demons until it's destroyed. In carnal manifestations of human suffering, these totems are formed from the tortured resonance of the once living, made flesh by the black arts of demonic psychomancy. A beacon, of necroplasm, the plasmic dark wave energy, the buff totem, once fully formed, radiates the surrounding environment with a dark cloud of hell magic. This energy possesses influence of great power for anything living caught in its wake. Demons, while in its presence, become adrenalized, their aggressiveness and bloodlust amplified. Inversely, those totems have become symbols of fear for humans who have encountered them, its presence tainting the mind with nightmarish terror. The propagation of these totems would ultimately necessitate the development of the Arc Mind Shield, a cyber-neural implant which could immunize its soldiers from the psionic properties of the buff totem. Next, cue balls. These existed, I'm not sure if it's the same name, these existed in 2016. However, in Doom Eternal, they are ambient, they're completely unaggressive, they just stand there, you can walk right up to them, they will do nothing. They're basically a free grenade for you. You have to just angle where you want them to go and shoot them, and they'll fly off. Shoot the demon in the direction you want it to fly. What I just said. Another tip is to hit a demon with a cue ball to trigger a massive explosion. Good to know. These are former UAC engineers. These malformed zombies were rendered inept during the war for Earth. Their bodies are now a disturbing fusion of body, bone, and barrel. They really are. That's what nightmares are made of. All of this is what nightmares are made of, but this in particular is pretty gruesome. Finally, the tentacle. These guys are absolute willies. General tip, not every tentacle hole has one inside. There's something we can all learn right there. The subject of great scrutiny for arc scientists on Earth, these hell growth formations have appeared all over the planet, taking hold wherever hell has made its presence known. Forming chaotic, seemingly random structural patterns, the propagation of hell growth has taken root at an alarming rate, exhibiting a cellular reproduction cycle that arc scientists fear may become impossible to contain. The resultant environmental effect is extremely hostile to terrestrial life, producing atmospheric biocontagions and a multitude of organic hazards. Wherever these nest-like formations emerge, they are protected by swathes of defensive tendrils, long, thorned tentacles, that demonstrate keen awareness of their surroundings, fully capable of disemboweling anything that is deemed to be a potential threat to the nest. That's it. I think that's everything you're going to come across, apart from some bosses. Yes, definitely the final few bosses. These are the things you're going to come across quite regularly or quite easily, quite frequently throughout the game. Hopefully that was interesting and you've had some insights there. And if you did enjoy that, drop us a comment. If you like me and you want to see more of me and us, then maybe you'd subscribe. Anyway, so I've been Ed Fire. This is For the Love of Gaming. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video, hopefully, and maybe you'd be interested in watching some of these videos. Goodbye. Bye.